Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Michelle, and today I am playing in my brand new little journal from Art by Marlene. It's called the Handy Size Journal, I think, and I decided that I will be making a lace cut page. So what I did is I stamped out this beautiful rose stamp from Marlene. Just covered a whole page full of them, and I've colored all of them yellow. I started off with my alcohol marker, but the yellow it was dull. I didn't enjoy that. So I switched over to, I think this one is called Happy. It's a beautiful bright yellow from Marlene. And I just went ahead and painted all of them with that happy color. And then I've gone in and I've done some coloring. So went in with my coloring pencils, and I'm just darkening all the little bits where I can see Marlene has already drawn in some shadow lines, and I'm just darkening those up to make it look just a little bit more dimensional and interesting. So the great thing about these stamps is that they have those shadowy bits in. So coloring them, whether it's with paint or pencils or alcohol markers or whatever it is that you're using, it's really easy. You don't have to think about anything. You literally just follow the guides that are there. So I did these, and then we had to leave the house, and it took me a few days actually to get them done. I think I took them with me while we were waiting somewhere. Perhaps it was by a coffee shop or something, and I finished them on the go, or maybe it was in front of the TV in the evening or something, I don't know. But basically I followed the same procedure. I painted them, colored them with my pencils, and then traced over the lines again just with a gel pen, just to bring those details back in again. I did add a touch of pink in those petals as well. Just thought that the yellow was maybe a little bit too flat for me. And I mean, can you ever go wrong with pink? I think not. So here I go, just tracing those lines back in again. And a few days later, I would have come back to this page and actually finish the page. So my idea was to have a lace cut page for this one. You all know how much I love a lace cut page. I really enjoy the process of it. I really enjoy the final look of it. So yeah, it's just something that makes me really, really happy. So when I was done doing the coloring in, I also went in with my marker pen from Marlene, and I just added that yellow brightness in again. And I think I maybe have gone in with white as well at some stage. So the leaves I did with my alcohol markers. Again, I just went over all of them, and afterwards I think I did go in with coloring pencils as well. Yep. There we go. So again, just darkening up some of the shadowy bits, and I do add some highlights as well. I really like the look of these images when they've been colored in with the alcohol markers. I think they're just so smooth and pretty. And you can see when I put that lighter color in, how they just pop off the page. It really does help to add a little bit of contrast. So I cut them up into tiny pieces, and then I went in with it's like a blushing pink alcohol marker as well, again into those shadowy bits, and it just gave it a little bit of a pinkish tint, because I knew that my background was probably going to have pink or purple of some sort in it. So just wanted to draw that into the flowers as well. Okay, couple of days later, when I finally cut all of them out, I got this little stencil from Marlene's advent calendar, and I chose the triangle bit, and I just stenciled through with purple. I chose purple because I knew my background was going to be purple. So if I had done it with black, the little bits that I didn't cut would have been quite obvious. So here I go. I'm cutting everything at an angle. I'm turning my page, doing all of the downward slope ones, and then I turn my page again and do all of the downward slope ones, as you can see. And then I do all of the straight bits. So my top tip for doing a lace cut page would be to have a very, very sharp craft knife. Make sure you change the blade before you start, otherwise your page will tear. Also, if you've gone in like me and done your stenciling, you need to make sure that your page is bone dry before you start cutting, because obviously if your paper is still a little bit wet, it's going to weaken your paper, and those cuts are not going to be nice and clean. It's going to be messy, and things will probably start tearing and all sorts. So by the magic of editing, I've done all three my little bits, and now I'm going to go in with my paints. I chose lavender. I think this is lavender, and I'm just doing a big coat all over the page. It is very messy. I watered it down a little bit, so it's looking a little bit patchy, but to me that doesn't matter. It's just the base coat, and then I'm going to go in and darken up some areas as well. Again, just being quite haphazard about it. I don't want things to look planned out, even though I did plan it out. I went in with a little bit of royal as well, and I'm just extending. So on that little stencil, there's 2 sets of triangles. So the one set I use to cut, and then the other set I'm just extending those triangles all over the page. And then I'm going in with, I think this is punk. Yes, it's the neon purple from Marlene. And I'm just doing some reductive stenciling again with that same triangle stencil. So I'm kind of sticking to the triangle theme just to make it all uniform, I guess, and giving everything a little dry. Okay, of course, I have taken away all of the white space, as I do. And I'm just adding it back in by making some white mark making, just by pressing a paintbrush down. And then I think I'm going to start working on the placement of my flowers, or roses, I guess. And so just a little bit of faffing about and shuffling. I obviously audition these first before I stick them down, because I do like to make sure that I've got them the way that I would like for them to be. Not that I'm super pedantic at all. Sometimes things are just, it is what it is, and we work with it. But when I do a page like this, I want to make sure that the balance of the page is right. I want to make sure that I can still see those cut places that I did. And I'm usually also looking for a odd number of roses or elements. And I've tucked the leaves in. I'm cutting another little one. Okay, and I'm wanting to add a little bit more interest and make it a little bit more grungy around the edges of the flowers. So I've got this dotty stamp from Marlene, and I guess I'm using it to create a little bit of shadow around the flowers, and then that wasn't enough for me, so I chose the Lots of Dots stencil, and I'm just stenciling through that with pitch paint, which is the black in Marlene's range. And then I decided it's too dark, I need to add whites. I added white splatters. I do usually dry my white splatters before I continue. Okay, this is where this page really came alive for me. I took Marlene's fuchsia paint and I used that as the shadow color underneath the flowers, or just around the flowers, because I had that pink little flecks in the roses. This fuchsia I think it just pulled it all together. It also added a little bit of depth to the page and dimension. And because I had that fuchsia, which has a little bit of a pinky tone, I decided to add some pink mark makings as well. This is the neon pink from Marlene. Maybe it's called Funky, maybe? I don't know. It's the pink one. And giving that all a dry, and then I'm going to go in with my Stabilo All Pencil as well. And this time I'm not bringing that shadow out quite as far as the fuchsia, because obviously I still want to see the fuchsia underneath. So I'm just really building up the layers until I'm happy with the page. In the end, I really like how this page turned out. But there was a moment where I thought, oh gosh, I don't know if this is working. I think the purple threw me off a little bit, because normally I do blue backgrounds or different colored black backgrounds, not really purple, but I really love how the purple and the yellow work together here. Finally, I'm going in with just a touch of white highlights in the flowers, in the leaves, just to create a little bit of interest. And of course, I will go in with a quote, but first a little bit of text stamping. Again, this just grunges things up a bit and adds a little bit more darkness to that page. Some more white splatter. When I did the splatter, I was thinking, oh, I don't know if that was maybe a mistake, but it looks okay anyway. It's there now. And then finally, I will go in with a quote from Marlene's quote book, the Golden Oldies sticker book. This is so great. There's always a quote that suits any page in this little book. If you don't have it, I would recommend you get it, because I don't think you'll ever run out of quotes. There are, I think, 1,000 quotes in there. So really nice, also different colors. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Thank you for being here. Please leave me a comment. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do so. I love to hear from you. And I will chat to you again very soon. Have a fabulous day. Bye.